go. Let's go. That's on me, baby. Happy Friday evening. Yes, it is Friday, not Thursday, and it is showing in the viewers. Maybe moving to Friday wasn't the move, boys, but we'll adjust higher.
We'll be
accordingly. Fine. Chris said it. Hey, do you really want to compete with high school ball? Well, here we are. And you've got an NFL game on tonight. That was kind of the idea of moving the show to not compete with the NFL. Looks like we're going to compete with them tonight at least, but that's okay. There's a lot to talk about. Before we get anywhere and move anywhere, how's everybody's week, man? Good, bad?
It's been a week.
Has it? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What's going on, fellas?
So, Herman.
Keith, what's going on?
Keith.
Lance, thank you for being
James.
here.
Lance Hunter, always good to see everyone.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. First tonight. Congratulations.
She was in at 7:09 p.m. What's KB?
Yeah, I don't know where J-Bake is.
Kangaroo Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, KB. Yeah. When he
I forgot about him being on.
He does Friday night stuff.
I think so.
We should just send him the link and tell him to hop in when he's done.
Yeah. There you go.
Send it to everyone.
What's up, man? Hold on.
I've been sending links to Marty Smith.
I'm gonna go watch
6 months.
I'm gonna go watch KB's show real quick.
Hey, hop in their chat and be like, "Hey, way offsides folks in here."
Yeah,
you're busting, Jay Bake.
Hold on, yeah,
I'll pop in KB's chat.
Hold on. I'll pop it in here real quick.
A wedding crash.
El Piano Man. Hold
on.
Does Bama cover tomorrow, Chris?
What's the spread? I don't even know what it is. 36 and a
36
half.
and a half.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
We're gonna
Roll
have
Tide,
to-
Bo.
What's up, Bo? Roll Tide.
Uh,
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
that was confusing. I was listening to theirs in my headphone. You guys are talking. Bo, what's up, man? Roll mother Tide.
Bombs. I like that.
Yeah. I like it.
Beep.
Hey, yeah, I love KB, man. I absolutely love that dude. I love how passionate he is. He does
yeah.
things a little differently than we do, but just the way he does it, he doesn't hold back. We try to be a little more reserved. He doesn't, and I like that.
We have children watching.
Let me ask you: should we invite KB on? We have a relationship with him. We talk to him. I'm sure he'd be willing to do it. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Chat. Should we do it?
Lance, I hope we're not trailing in this game.
I hope he's wrong.
We're gonna
Dang, Lance, don't even put that out in the universe. Lance.
We're gonna get there. Everybody pace themselves. My goodness gracious. Everybody acts like. Let me tell you something. You guys ready for this? If Alabama would have won that game by a point, we would not be having the come apart conversations that we are right now.
Right. That's
By a point.
I think if Alabama lost by 1 point, we wouldn't.
No, because everybody would be like, it's going to be fine. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. Dude.
Yeah.
the issue isn't the win or the loss. That's not what the
No, I know that. But
I mean,
the
issue is the product on the field.
I'm telling everybody right now, and I'm standing firm on this. You can laugh if you want to. This FSU team is good. This is a playoff caliber FSU team. I'm telling you right now, everybody, the team included, went into that game last weekend thinking they were going to face a 2-10 Florida State team from last year, and it wasn't. Everybody from under Mike Norvell down was different. It was different. Mike Norvell won the offseason. He made some spectacular hires. Alabama, easily the more talented team. I know everybody's pissed off at the effort. They got popped in the mouth. They weren't expecting it, and they did not respond. I'm telling you, man, there is absolutely no way that everybody that got to go watch this Alabama team in camp and practice, everybody, people who know football better than me, y'all, everybody in the chat, went and watched this team and came back going, this is a good football team. Everybody, Nick Saban.
Yeah.
There's no way they're all wrong. I'm not trying to explain it away. I'm not, but I'm telling you, I don't think the sky is falling as fast as everybody's making it out to be. Everybody's so busy talking about how bad Alabama looked. Nobody's talking about how good Florida State looked.
Right.
There's a reason Florida State looked that good.
Pissing me off.
Calm down.
If you don't try to make tackles and you turn down plays, you'd be surprised how good the other team looks.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you. I think the biggest, and I think my biggest issue with the defense is how many guys we rotated in. That's my biggest issue, and we talked about that.
Yeah, well, I got news for you. You're going to see a lot of new faces tomorrow. They're probably going to do the same thing. And
Good segue into the topic of the night.
Yeah, I said this with Jeff last night. Everybody's memory about Alabama's defense last year is very, very short. They're basing it off of a couple of games. Nobody remembers towards the beginning of the season how bad they looked. They looked slow. They looked out of position. USF looked really good against Alabama's defense last year. They started to figure it out. Alabama just played Western Kentucky to open the season, not on the road at FSU.
Look who Georgia opened with.
What are you talking about? Marshall? Who did they open?
Marshall. I mean, Marshall. You don't open not in this with this landscape of the playoffs and everything. Nobody does it anymore.
This is spot on assessment. This is all you need to know.
Why would we expect that? We're a 5-5 football team. Why would they go into the game thinking that FSU is going to roll over? I don't understand. Where did that mindset come in?
I told you. You want me to tell you? I'll say it again. I said it last night. All these kids grew up watching Alabama be the premier program in the country. That's all. That's the only Alabama. That's the only college football they know is Alabama being at the top. They are at Alabama. They've made it to the top. There is no more, I've got to compete for a starting position, right? The depth chart isn't as deep as it was when Nick Saban was there. When you came to Alabama before, it wasn't just, I have to practice. I have to do all these things to get an offer from Alabama and then commit to Alabama. Is once you got to Alabama, you had to grind day in and day out just to get a start.
Yep.
Kids aren't having to do that anymore because it's not as deep. That's why.
Well, that and I think coaches are scared of the transfer portal. Oh, you're not rotating me, and I'm leaving after the season's over.
Yeah, that's why they stuck Dijon Lee out there on Squirrel White.
I mean,
stupid.
I mean, Eric. I mean, Eric's comment right there. If you pull it,
what's going to change? Then
guys in's a good thing, but it's a good thing, but not when you're in panic mode trying to catch up in a game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
These guys can't be consistent if you're rotating 21 in, and I mean, we had, like I said, we had 58 total tackles in the game, and 51% of those come from 5 guys.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
the other aspect that really upset everybody is it continues a trend of Kalen DeBoer and everybody looking terrible on the road, right? Alabama looking really bad away from Bryant-Denny Stadium. They did not look good anywhere they played last year away from Bryant-Denny Stadium.
2-5 on the road.
Yeah. Pretty raunchy record. Very raunchy record. But I think that is the part. Kalen DeBoer, through his success, he's had extreme success in year 2 everywhere he's been, but he did not have it blowing people out of the water. Go back and look at that. In fact, you know what? I'm on it, gentlemen. Give me a second.
He's on it.
It's the same old, though. It's like you run the ball well, and then we bail on it. And, running backs need reps. Live game reps. You can't give Richard Young 1 carry every 4 series and then be like, well, he got stopped at the line of scrimmage, so we're not going to run for the rest of the half. It's like you got to give them reps, man. Running backs need to get in the flow of the game. They need to get used to the speed of the game, the pace of the line play. There's rep. They need to do live game reps. That's why I was hoping that all the running backs would get like 10 carries each. That means we're running the ball. And I thought we were on the way to that.
Right. Let me zoom into this. I'm trying to remember how it is. Did that work?
Do it like it's
it's working.
Phone. Oh, look at that.
Control and your mouse wheel.
Hey.
You don't talk about his mouse wheel.
So here we go. Right. Boise State, that's a beatdown, right? Tulsa, beatdown. Michigan State, beatdown. Cal, beatdown. Not necessarily a beatdown. Not necessarily a beatdown. Not necessarily a beatdown. Not 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 a beatdown. A beatdown. The point being, Kalen DeBoer doesn't typically blow folks out. He never has.
No.
That's not how it works. That's not how the offense is going to work. And we have to accept that. College football is changing quickly. I don't think that you're going to have another dominant team year in and year out like you did 10 years ago, just because there's too much parity. Everything's,
I'm with you, Brock.
At the comments. Yeah, we will. Anyway, sorry, I got my ADHD kicked in. Sorry. Who wants to average 4 or 5 carries a yard or yards a carry? I do. Yeah, I definitely do.
There was no reason.
It's crazy because you can't post anything right now I've got one person, and it's a burner account, I'll admit, but I've got one person. Anytime I post anything about Kalen DeBoer, it's like fire Kalen DeBoer, hire Glenn Schumann. Just every
No,
post.
it's Lane Kiffin. Everybody thinks that's the answer.
No.
Newsflash, it ain't.
No. I'm not going to defend him, but right now it's not the answer.
Yeah. So yeah, Ty's always done that. His first instinct, if that first option isn't there, dadgummit, is to take off.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's mentally fighting that back there in the pocket. He had one pocket that was really clean. He bailed out of. I can't remember where it was in the game, but the pocket was extremely clean, and he bailed for literally no reason. But
one of those missed layups that they were talking about the other on that show.
There were a lot of them.
Sean King. He was talking about those missed layups that Ty had. Said he played didn't cost us the game, didn't turn the ball over, but missed a lot of layups.
Right. But I will tell you this, it's okay because apparently Kalen DeBoer is pissed off. His words, not mine, quote unquote. He is pissed off. I think that's about as much cursing we're going to get out of the guy. Yeah. But he said he's pissed off. Really, really mad. Everybody's fed up.
Fed.
You know, and all this player meeting and player only meeting, and they're going to fix the issues, and I don't buy into it.
No, I don't either. But I will say I saw something today. Bama Standard Network had AJ McCarron and one of the staffers, previous staffers on, and he is like, I don't care what happens this weekend. I don't care what happens next weekend. I want to see what happens when they get punched in the mouth between the hedges. No. I don't know.
I can tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't understand why under any circumstance we're talking about the Georgia game right now, other than, hey, we may have Jam Miller back by then. Like, no, absolutely not. This is a ULM team that came in and beat Nick Saban in Bryant-Denny Stadium. And if I remember correctly, Alabama was a 30-plus point favorite in that game that they lost to. I'll go ahead and tell you like this. If Alabama plays like they did last Saturday, tomorrow's going to be a nightmare for us.
It's going to be horrible.
It's going to be – you thought it was bad last weekend. Just let us, God forbid, lose that game or it be way closer than it should. Yep. Rome's going to burn.
Yep. That's my only fear is they beat ULM. Let's say I'm going to say convincingly, you know, they beat them by double digits. Just say they beat Wisconsin by double digits. It looks good. They'll have a week off. And what worries me is they're going to go into Athens with their chest puffed out, you know, thinking, well, you know, we're back. And then they're going to get hit in the mouth and they're not going to know what to do. I mean, that's normally what happens.
Sure. They really think that we got.
And then the Bama fans are going to be like, we were good. Now we suck again.
That's 3 weeks away, man. I honestly,
I get it. But
right now, that team I saw last week, that wasn't even a shell of its former self. That's the Alabama team I saw last week might be bottom 3 in the SEC this year. So looking ahead to Georgia and no, we got to beat ULM and we got.
What if ULM punches them in the mouth? Have they changed all their ways in 6 days, and all their instincts and all their what's inside of them in 6 days?
They'll be within the comfort of their own home.
Well, it'll certainly be quiet enough. They'll be able to hear everything. If we get punched in the mouth there, that place will be. You'll be able to hear a pin drop in there.
That's a beautiful comment. That is a beautiful comment.
Bingo.
People to this day still talk about that loss that Nick Saban took to them. We just did. I guarantee you it'll get brought up several times before kickoff tomorrow. Yeah.
Nick Saban won 6 national titles at Alabama, and they still bring up that game.
Yeah. But the concerning thing is obviously the lack of effort. But I think you can explain that away. The same argument that we're making, the getting punched in the mouth, there's a lot of confusion. To me, the bigger issue Saturday was struggling with the running quarterback, struggling with that mobile quarterback again, because Alabama's going to play several teams this season that can replicate that exact same offense, including 2 that they lost to last year. And again, it was the same ugly story as last season. They go on the road, they get behind, and we're used to an Alabama team that can face adversity and kind of claw their way back into it. Now, there was a point, and Alabama had opportunity Saturday to claw their way back into it. They just couldn't capitalize on it, or Damani Jackson or James Smith did something stupid. And,
bingo.
Yeah.
I mean, we got within 7. We pulled it within 7. I mean, we had a little bit of momentum going there. And then Ric Flair showed up, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. But again, to play devil's advocate, and that's kind of what I'm going to do here tonight, is play devil's advocate. I do think that you watched Alabama come out that first drive, do what they did. They had another decent drive after that offensively. Right around the third quarter, the defense started to kind of figure it out, and they stepped up. Right, I'm not the only person who noticed that. Let me make sure this is the right quote here. No, yeah, this is right here. Thank you. All right, Nick Saban. This is what he had to say. He said, "I do think there was something in that game that was tough to understand, in my opinion. In that Alabama looked great going down the field on the first drive. Florida State goes right down the field and scores, and then the whole sort of psychological disposition of Alabama's team changed for what reason, I don't know. Was it anxiety? Was it expectation?"
It's a good question.
I think it was expectation. I'm going to lean expectation. The simple fact that I really do believe these dudes went down to Tallahassee and thought they were going to play that 2-10 season, 2-10 team from last season, and it didn't happen. And maybe then some anxiety set in, and they panicked. But I mean, the coaching staff definitely looked panic on the sideline. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being too.
He looked something.
Be too positive, because I don't want to just crap on him. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
Nick Saban called Kalen DeBoer a really good coach, and I believe and I trust Nick Saban. And there were a couple of good things that we saw. I think everybody can agree that the offense is definitely going to get better. Like, this offense is going to be fine.
Has to, right? Has to.
Yeah, I absolutely think so. I think the biggest question is the defense. And to Lance's point, what stands out to me is them not being able to stop the run. If we can't do that,
worries me.
Yeah, it's going to get.
That's a big worry. 4 of the 5 losses, opponents gone over 200 yards rushing. That's a problem. That's a big problem. That's a fireable offense.
I mean, we have the talent. There's no doubt about that. They're either not utilizing it correctly, or practice and what they're taught does not make it to the field during a game.
Yeah.
That's my fear, is that the kind of motivator DeBoer is. I just don't know yet.
Well, and it's hard, because all we can go on is what we hear. All right. But talk right now is extremely cheap. Extremely cheap.
That's true.
But we're hearing all the right things coming out of practice this week from Kalen DeBoer, from guys like Jeremy Bernard.
We heard all the right things. We heard all the right things out of spring and fall practice.
That is bombs. That, I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
So here's a question for you, Cotton. Can you imagine had we come out of practices with people questioning the effort and the togetherness and all that stuff, and then we went out and laid that dud against Florida State? You think Rome's burning now? That may be the only thing saving him, is the fact that there was such high praise coming out of camps, spring and fall camp, by so many people.
Yeah, that definitely lent its hand to it. I mean, you had several media members, high-profile media members, pick Alabama to win the national championship. Yeah. We did here, but of course we're going to. We're in Alabama.
Including this guy, the highest profile media member.
There you go.
But, Josh Pate picked him to win. And he hasn't backtracked. He has said, I don't know. But it's interesting when you follow these media stories now, because there's people that are like, I don't know what happened. Everybody's got some kind of explanation, but it's getting to the point where folks are just like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
you can't explain
Andy Staples tried to blame it on me for making the nipple piercing.
That's right. You cursed him.
One day. Said I cursed him.
Till Cotton pierces his nipple, there's a curse is alive.
Yep, that's it.
Already done. Already done.
Already done.
To Jay Bake's point, Jay Bake said something up here in the chat just a little while ago. Alabama, even under Nick Saban, has a history of struggling with option quarterbacks. And that's exactly what Florida State did. You throw in Gus Malzahn, and I know last week on that Thursday Night Live with Clint Lamb, there were a lot of people in the chat going, I don't know why you guys are so worried about Gus Malzahn. Well, that you saw why we were worried about Gus Malzahn.
Yep.
It played itself out Saturday, exactly what I was worried about. So, we turn the page. A little Bob Seger action, right? Turn the page, baby. Or Metallica, whichever. Metallica's cover was better than the original. I'm just going to put that out there.
I agree.
I'll blame it on. So Chris, Jay Bake is a cigar connoisseur.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, we'll have to tell him about our old blowing smoke days.
Yeah. Yep. I'm reading these guys' comments. We haven't seen any players show any kind of toughness, and the coaches hadn't been tough. And
I wouldn't say.
Well,
don't rope Jeremy Bernard in that conversation. We're about to talk.
Okay, I won't. But what I'm saying is, a buddy of mine, we were talking about the game, and he said, after I watch Florida State, I think about what Manny Te'o said in that interview when they played them, and he said it was just the intimidation factor coming out of the locker room. In the national championship game, he said they come out with their shirts rolled up under their pads, and
You called him Manny, and my brain immediately went to Manny Pacquiao. I was like, what is Chris talking about? Sorry.
Okay, Manti Te'o, the guy with the fake girlfriend.
Tracking.
Manti Te'o.
No, TW, you're right. And just to be, it's Jeremy. But Jeremy Bernard was not the
Jeremy.
Josh Cuevas had a really good game. Xavier Brown had a good game. Quay Russaw, Parker Brailsford. If there's somebody else that I'm missing, put it in the chat. But that's who I've got having a really good game.
I don't remember Russaw popping off the screen Saturday. Maybe it was because my head was down shaking like this at the play before it.
Oh yeah, Russaw played. He played. There's one play where he's trying to chase down pretty much a free runner, and he doesn't give up on it. He chases him all the way down the field. So yeah, Xavier Brown definitely.
Was that Xavier chasing after old dude down the sideline?
Yes,
I felt so bad for him. He looked like that linebacker for Ohio State, chasing Smitty in that championship game. That's what it looked like. I felt so bad for him. I was like, don't pull both hamstrings, please. Please don't pull both hammies.
Yeah. Look, T-Dub, I'm not convinced. Kane Womack came out and was asked, because my philosophy coming right off that loss was, I don't know that they prepared well for this. Maybe the preparation was difficult from the coaches, the scouting, just because you had so many new players. You had a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. But they asked Kane Womack, hey, were you guys, did they throw anything at you you weren't prepared for? He was like, no, we expected it all. And so I was kind of like, what?
Just say, we're totally surprised. They threw a kitchen sink at us. Don't say you were prepared and then got run through.
They did, Tobias. You're right. And a lot of people are just hammering Kalen DeBoer. But to Tobias's point, the folks that came with him are the guys that played the hardest. And last night on the live, I shared my theory behind that. I think it's a solid hypothesis. So I don't know.
Go watch the live show from last night. See if you agree.
When you're done here, you can't go to bed. Do that.
Yeah, that's right. Go listen to me and Cotton for 30 minutes. You'll go right to sleep. Yeah, trust me.
I'll definitely put you to sleep. I was pretty riled up last night, though.
Yeah.
Gore doesn't turn this thing around, I wonder how many top coaches will take the chance to coach at Bama, seeing how the fast Bama fans walk DeBoer down the plank and drop. Well, this is why nobody wanted the job after Nick Saban. And so this is exactly why.
It's not like he didn't give us reasons for that I can think of.
Well, again, I keep bringing up the show last night, Jeff, but to my point last night, it doesn't matter if Dano or Chadwin or Jay Bake or Stuffed Barbie or Jeff or Chris or Legend or Paul Feinbaum or whoever. It doesn't matter if those people want Kalen DeBoer fired or think he should be fired, because no matter what, right now in this moment, he's the head coach of the University of Alabama. So I may not agree with him. I may criticize what he's doing, but ultimately at the end of the day, I'm going to support him because he's the head coach of my football team.
Just do the numbers. We can't afford to pay him $70 million plus 20 plus for the roster, plus whatever for the new coach. We can't afford all that. That's why you, me, and Chris and whoever else is having to send money to Yay Alabama every week and be a donor every month or whatever, every year or whatever. That's why we're having to do that. We can't afford all that.
How much damage?
Yellowwood, paying off our past four coaches.
This is an interesting question. How much damage has he done to the brand? None. In terms of the brand's value, he hasn't done any damage to it. But what is damaging the brand's value is the current landscape of college football, which is why Nick Saban said, I'm done, and walked away. But a lot of these problems, guys, it's so easy to hammer Kalen DeBoer. It's the West Coast guy. He's soft. He's this and that. A lot of these things started happening under Nick Saban. Nobody talks about that.
Yep.
Those last couple of offensive lines he had were awful. Bryce Young never won a national championship as a starting quarterback at Alabama because he didn't have an offensive line. I know nobody wants to talk about this, but that freaking Texas game in Austin, that was a safety. That dude was running for his life the entire game. Like, the problems started well before Nick Saban retired. The problems were out of his control. They were happening anyway, right? Kalen DeBoer finds himself in an incredibly unique position in replacing Nick Saban, right? So everything's this is why it seems like some coaches are managing it better than others, because Kalen DeBoer is coming to this just wonky situation trying to replace Nick Saban, but Nick Saban was losing control of the ship too. It's not a knock against the man. He the best to ever do it. I absolutely adore Nick Saban, but he literally said that's why he left. Like that's why he left. The problems were starting then. The brand or players became bigger than the brand. I did a whole video about this, and I think that started with Tua. Not a knock against Tua. I don't think Tua. It's nothing malicious. It's not something he created. But the persona, the legend of Tua at Alabama became so large that he became bigger than the university, and that carried over year after year after year after year. And ultimately, it created a very me-central attitude in the locker room. There are 3 dudes left right now from the 2022 class at Alabama. 3. That's it. 3. A few are in the NFL. The rest have transferred out. Many of them, while Nick Saban was still the head coach.
Yep.
It's the problem started before Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer needs to get a handle on it. 100%. He's got to figure it out. You guys are right, but they're not. The problems solely aren't his fault. It started before that. And Nick Saban didn't do anybody any favors the way he retired and left.
No,
he didn't.
Not at all.
There should have been an exit plan, a strategy that was put in place. Greg Byrne didn't do anybody any favors either.
Well,
prevent
Byrne
something.
knew long before Saban made it official, but Byrne knew for many months that Saban was going to walk. I mean, that's public. That's been talked about in public.
Mm-hmm.
Say it one more time, Jeff. I didn't hear.
So he knew. Byrne knew. Saban didn't walk in the day after the bowl game and drop a surprise on anyone. That's why he moved up to DeBoer so quickly. There was no meeting with Norvell. There wasn't a job offer for Lanning. Byrne went to DeBoer almost immediately because he'd known for months that Saban was going to walk. Yeah. I don't think Saban surprised. No, it surprised all of us, but I think the people that needed to know had known for quite some time.
Well, I think some of the coaches knew too.
Yeah.
Nick Saban mentioned that before he even announced, before it even came out publicly, there were already people on campus ready to poach guys. But keep in mind, like, no, it did not mesh last week, but that is one small sample from what we're going to get is a 12-game sample size. What if, big what if here, big what if that game last weekend is an outlier for this season?
It better be.
What if everybody that went and saw Bama practice for FSU or fall camp and came away going, that is a really good complimentary football team right there? What if they weren't wrong? What if it finally clicks? Big what if?
Yeah.
Are we all going to flip the narrative that
if it finally clicks, it'll be the team that we all have been talking about leading up to that Florida State game?
Sure.
I mean,
but it is a huge what if. I agree, Dano. It's a huge what if.
They could run the table. But then again, FSU could run the table.
Look, I'm telling you guys that
they're playing ACC schedule.
That FSU team is going to be good.
Do they play Clemson? If not, they won't lose again. Their toughest game
they got Harry Houdini as an OC. So
fair. Yeah. Listen, I want to say to everybody in the chat, unless you're just being ridiculous, like your points aren't invalid. Like there's a lot of people throwing counterpoints. Like your points aren't invalid. I'm just trying to think of it from a different perspective. It's hard where we are because if we agree with the people who are saying Kalen DeBoer is soft, then we're told by another group of fans that we're being too hard on Alabama. If we're, not being realistic, then we're haters. It's just, it's hard. We're in kind of a middleman position here. But I do think that there is a sliver of hope that they can fix it. I do. But that hope is waning quickly. That trust is waning fast. And I personally think what's going to happen is Alabama's going to go 8-4. They are going to, Kalen DeBoer is going to be officially on the hot seat. They are going to fire Kane Womack. That will buy Kalen DeBoer another year. That's my best guess as to what's going to happen.
I think that's dead. Right. He should have fired him last year, but they're going to run year 2. And at the end of the year, Kalen's going to be looking in the mirror going, it's either him or me. I mean, yeah. Congrats. But
what do you guys want me to say? Do you want me to say Kalen DeBoer is the worst coach in college football and that we need to spend $70 million to fire him? We're that
not
money
doing that. So you can remove that from your brain. That's not going to happen. So forget it.
Alabama's not poor, but Alabama's not Oregon. They're not Texas.
Now, the people think Keelan's going to do all this playing. He's third on the depth chart. So
yeah,
I'm not sure how much y'all expect or anyone expects Keelan to just come running in and get a bunch of playing time Saturday. He's third on the depth chart. There's a reason he's third on the depth chart.
I think he's going to get a little bit of playing time.
He might get some run, but it better be a blowout. But he's not going to play any.
Here's what people don't realize on the Keelan Russell thing. He has never had an SEC quality defense coming at him, like really coming at him. And he's going to run for his life and make mistakes.
He's going to do what Ty did. He's going to look like Ty looked the first time. that's what you would expect somebody to look like when they played against an SEC or a top-notch opponent the first time. Not SEC, but
yeah. Now, hey, look, J-Bait, you're right. Like, if it stays as bad as it looks like it's going to stay, he's gone. They'll get rid of it. Sorry, my headphones just died.
Why? That's why you need a wire. You got.
I have one.
You got all this fancy stuff like those kids that warm up with their cell phones in their hand.
that chap Chris this week.
Ooh. I would. They need to warm up this. They don't need a headphone, a phone. They don't need music. Go out there and warm up.
Hold on. I love this comment.
Cochran screaming at him.
I guarantee you, Lance is saying this because of your comment, Chris, about SEC defense coming at you and confusing you. And I guarantee you that's why Lance, tell me if I'm right or wrong. That's why he's saying that. And I agree. Arch played some stanky defenses in high school. Is catching up with him.
Yes, he did. He played a good one in the championship game his senior year. Go check them stats.
It applies to him too. Like it's a 1 game sample size. And so let Texas do their thing, and just like let's Alabama do their thing. What's a better way to grow than playing games? There's a reason most teams play 2 or 3 cupcakes to start it off before they get in a conference play. And it's so that they can tighten things up.
Ideally, these big early season games should be week 2. I think everybody should get a puff week 1 just to blow out all the kinks and the cobwebs, so to speak, and then have an idea kind of your rhythm and who you are for the, say, you play FSU in week 2 and ULM in week 1 or something like that.
Oh, Keith.
Or DeBoer needs to do like Jimmy Johnson and not feed them
I don't know who
food on the plane ride home if they lose and don't put any effort.
Like
Texas A&M Commerce. Well, first of all, they're not losing. But if they did, I would probably find the tallest building nearby and jump off the top of it.
Yeah.
Just saying. Don't do that. Please don't do that. So,
Yeah.
Well, T-Dub, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like a lot of these guys that are playing for Alabama now, they don't understand that. They don't understand what it took to have that kind of success. This is why a lot of the older guys are hopping on podcasts and talking about it, right? A lot of these kids, Alabama is where the mountaintop ends. So once they get there, what's the point of going 1,000% every day in practice, because you already made it. They grew up watching Alabama.
Yeah, the work's already been done. So I just got to show up and I just got to show up and strap up, and the work's already been done.
Yeah,
it used to be getting here.
Getting to Alabama was the start of it, because once you got there, you had to play against the best. Jet Thamala, we did an interview with 4-star Alabama commit Jet Thamala, and he discussed why he flipped his commitment to Alabama when Alabama has such a stacked quarterback class. And he knew Taden Caldwell was going to commit, and he was like, because if I compete against those guys for a starting position every day, it's going to make me the best player I can be. That is a rare mentality in Alabama's locker room right now. It is, because what's happened, the transfer portal has changed that. You don't have to compete for a starting position anymore. You can just leave. I think the transfer portal going to one window is going to be a beautiful thing. I'm sure Mr. Portal is excited about it because he's probably exhausted.
Can they enforce the one transfer rule? There's been a rule out there that says you can only transfer once, and then people are like, oh, for real? Watch this.
I miss when they used to have to go sit a year or go JUCO.
Now, I think you should get one free transfer a year where you don't have to sit out. But if you're going to just transfer every year, you're just going to hit free agency every year, then like the TJ Finley, playing in his 5th college in 5 years or 6th college in 5 years, and he'll apply for a waiver and get to play next year, and he'll transfer somewhere else. It's just spitting in the face of the rule of the intention. I think they should have at least one free year to transfer. Yeah. Because if you get somewhere, you're homesick, or you get there and the coach leaves and some other coach comes in, or it could be your mom gets sick back home or something. You should be allowed at least one transfer free of sitting out. But then if you make a habit of you back in the portal next year just because you didn't get any playing time or whatever, then no, you gotta chill.
Well, you need contracts.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That tweet I sent y'all today that Greg Olson said that is brilliant. That would solve it all.
It would solve
everything.
everything.
Hadn't seen it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He said if you take you get NIL or transfer. You don't get both. If you take NIL from the school, you're locked in 4 years. That's it. It's over. No discussion. If you pass on the NIL, then you can transfer at will, but you don't get to reap the NIL benefits. You get to pick one or the other.
Yeah. Lance, if you'll remember, man, when we were talking about this recruiting class back in the spring, remember we all kept kind of assuming that they were going to go heavy after this position in the transfer portal. And I think the only guy they got was Kelby Collins, if I remember correctly, the Florida transfer.
Did he play Saturday?
Yeah. He got blown off the ball one time, but
well, there's a long line to the left of those guys.
Yeah. Chuck, hey, just a thought. Music, ice cream, painted nails. I can get behind you on that. The teddy bear you're referring to, Ryan Williams' little dinosaur. Just a thought here. Jeff and I have talked about this. I would steer away from that one. I have a sneaky suspicion that was a gift from a fan, and potentially, a fan who maybe is facing
like
some
a Make-A-Wish
adversity
or something.
Yeah. So just a thought there. If that's the case, I mean, and he's carrying that around, because he made a promise to somebody or something, we probably don't want to be shitting all over that. Just my thoughts. I mean, you're a grown person. You can say what you want to. We're not going to be mad at you for saying it. So just a thought, though. Just a thought.
Oh, yeah. Keith, it's been a business for a long time since the SEC started signing, the TV contracts started getting signed by all these places. It became a business many, many moons ago. Now everything's just above the table. Pay for play is now everything's just above the table. So everybody's seeing how it's been under the table for years.
J-Bake, moderate yourself.
Oh.
Bad J-Bake, moderate yourself.
Kipper, I don't think that. I think
so
wants to coach Keelan Russell next year. I think he's
going to
minimum 2 years because I think he wants to coach Keelan next year. I could be wrong, but something just tells me that he's working his way through this year so he can kind of have his Michael Penix next year, which would be Keelan Russell.
Yeah. And I've got a sneaky suspicion we're not going to be seeing him in the slot much moving forward after last week. So, look, he's some of his issues Saturday weren't his fault. There was one play, Jeremy Bernard was wide open because 3 defenders went with Ryan Williams. I did a video months ago talking about how I was worried that him and Jeremiah Smith would have kind of a down year, a sophomore slump, so to say. But it was because these defensive coordinators are going to key in on them so hard.
They did.
And that's exactly what FSU did. And that's probably going to continue. It's not Ryan Williams' fault. He'll still get his.
He's not the size to be a slot.
Even with the double coverage, I mean, he had one play where they pretty much they had to force a PI so he didn't score, and they had another one where he had beat the guy, but Ty overthrew him. So, I mean, yeah, he's going to get his. Give it a week or so for that kind of live game continuity to develop between Ty Simpson and him. And now folks, are going to be looking at Rico Scott. They're going to be looking at Jeremy Bernard. If Isaiah Horton plays this weekend, they're going to have to worry about him. So I think that'll open some things up for Ryan Williams. Also, somebody asked earlier, where do I see 8 wins? Here's why I said 8 wins. This Kane Womack's 4-2-5 defense works against pro-style offenses. It did last year. Everybody that did not have a running quarterback, Alabama beat. So There's going to be some teams like that. The problem is you've got South Carolina, Vanderbilt again, Auburn, maybe Oklahoma. I feel like I'm missing somebody in here. Brock Bowers is a good runner, or not Brock Bowers. Oh my gosh, Gunnar Stockton is a good runner, and so I mean they're going to face some mobile QBs, but I think that defense will hold up against some people like LSU, and it might surprise us. So
LSU may just say, "I'll just run up the middle."
Yeah.
Because they have a 260-pound nose tackle, so
I mean, you can guarantee
go 3 gap.
You can guarantee everyone has watched the Oklahoma game and the Florida State game and the Vanderbilt game from last year.
The Michigan game.
Yeah, they know what they're going to do. That's how they're going to attack them.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's what Florida State did.
Yeah.
So, the other thing, gentlemen, that I would like to talk about, something that is more alarming and nobody's really, I mean, some people have brought it up, is the injury trend for Alabama already is kind of shocking. How many guys came out of that game last week with injuries? Probably 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then you lose Jeremiah Beeman for the season this week. You lost 3 starters leading up to FSU. What is going on in Tuscaloosa with injuries? And don't say they're soft. I know that's like, give me a more technical answer.
You already know my.
Say it. I want you to say it.
We're missing the best strength and conditioning coach that's in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
This guy we have now with all these whatever's he's doing, and none of the players are cut. Nobody's strong. Nobody's getting any push. Nobody looks.
The only reason that the players that are chiseled and cut are the way they are is because they did it themselves in the off season.
I don't know.
Man, I watched some video from their first little fall camp, or it may have been in the spring. I don't know, but from West Alabama, and those guys, the coaches and the staff, are bringing heat.
Well, it's all Bama players. His entire staff is Bama players. Good for him. Smart guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's your next Bama coach.
Where?
In West Alabama.
No.
Oh, Scott Cochran?
No, I don't think so.
Let's just have fun with this, because everybody wants to talk about it. Jeff just alluded to it. Chat.
Not for several years, but
who's Alabama's next head coach? This chat's about to blow up.
Well, that's not what we were talking about, was who the next head coach was going to be. But
well, it's coming now.
You know, I see a lot of people, you know, over the last few weeks, you know,
the next coach is going to be Kalen DeBoer. Sorry,
especially when I made my post on X about, you know, Bama hadn't been the same since Scott Cochran, and then everybody come out bringing up the addiction and all of that, and you know, we don't want him. You know, I don't know
who said that. They're stupid.
He did. Well, somebody in the chat just made a comment. You know, he had to turn to fentanyl with all the screaming and yelling. I mean, unless you read his book and hear his story, you can't judge the man. I mean, I'd have him back.
Nobody can judge him. None of us anywhere breathing air can judge him for anything. Deion Sanders. There's Lane.
We don't have a PP tent in Alabama and Tuscaloosa.
What am I missing on Lane Kiffin? Why does all of Bama Nation think Lane Kiffin is an upgrade? I don't understand. What am I missing?
Comfortability there that folks want back in Tuscaloosa.
A what?
That's what. There's a comfortability.
Who gives a shit? I want wins.
Relax.
What? Lord of mercy. I want to be comfortable. Let's get Lane Kiffin, who's never won anything ever anywhere at any level, other than a coordinator who got fired before the national championship game. Come on.
You know who I'd love to have if I had my pick of the litter?
Prime Nick Saban.
Ryan Day's Pierce Nipple.
They named him Hank.
Coach O, man. Coach O, baby.
I want him coaching our defensive line. I think DeBoer needs to call him immediately and say, hey, what you doing next year. Come in and consult, and then
they'd have to hire somebody from Thibodaux, Louisiana, to translate.
That's fine.
Well, they brought somebody in
plenty.
for Tua. Remember?
Yeah, that's
Got
right.
plenty.
Yeah.
We got a protocol droid somewhere up there.
Who said that? Who was it that said that on here?
It was somebody on a board 20 or
Nice.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
When Tua committed, they were worried about how the translation between
The
Tua and
language
was gonna go.
barrier.
That person was dead ass serious.
Oh man.
The guy from Hawaii can't speak English. Dude.
Don't
Tell
care.
me you never
Just
left
say
the
hut.
state of
You
Alabama
say
without
hut.
telling me. Yeah. Tell me you've
Yeah.
never left the state of Alabama without telling me you've never left the state of Alabama.
D'Amico Ryans is interesting though because he's having success in the NFL, but has anybody ever got? I don't know that anybody would get tired of the NFL to move to college because college is basically the same thing. So
Who?
D'Amico Ryans.
Ah, man. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I feel like coaching in college is a lot more intensive, obviously, than the NFL with recruiting and things like that. So,
He may be a perfect fit. You never know, but I can't believe he would leave an NFL job for that.
I know a lot of folks were thinking that he might be the guy after Nick Saban retired, but and out of nowhere, it's like, here's Kalen DeBoer. Everybody's like, huh?
He may have been had he been a DC still, or had he had 4 years at Houston and all losing seasons. Whatever. But he had just made the playoffs in Houston. And so obviously it was going to be a long shot that he would even consider that. We had just had a franchise quarterback. So he's like, I got a franchise quarterback and a franchise defensive star.
Yeah.
Why would I want to go back to college?
Would guys
maybe later in life?
Would guys want to come play for John Gruden? Could he recruit?
I don't know if he could recruit. I don't know.
The NFL to
Good
college
point, I
thing
believe.
doesn't
Good point.
typically work unless it's at the coordinator level. You know what I mean? Like, there's been very few head coaches that I can think of off the top of my head who've left the NFL, came back to college, and been like hell.
Okay, so yeah.
Yes, I know Nick Saban.
So J-Bank, the difference is Nick Saban didn't make the playoffs and didn't have a young franchise quarterback. He had Dante Culpepper on one leg and a losing record.
Didn't he have a shot at
He wanted Drew Brees, but the medical staff wouldn't clear him. And so he wound up with Culpepper, and Brees signed with the Saints. The rest is history. Thank God the Dolphins doctors did not clear Drew Brees, or we would be having a very different conversation today. Because Nick Saban never would have wound up here had he gotten prime Drew Brees.
If this was
like
true,
he wanted.
Dabo Swinney would be our head coach right now.
Mama hadn't called nobody in 100 years. That was Bear Bryant's thing. Ain't no mamas.
Look, man.
Mama called Mike Shula home. That worked out well.
I think the biggest thing that folks have to remember is basically whoever took this job was doomed from the get-go. I mean, you're set up for, yes, everybody likes to talk about how set up Kalen DeBoer was when he came in, but really that foundation had already started to crack before he came in. And he was given a Lambo, but he was given a Lambo that maybe needed a tune-up. It's an impossible job to come in and replace
Eric. You shut your mouth.
We're the reason it is. We're the reason it's impossible. The dude goes 9-4 last season. Yes, he loses on the road to FSU, and people want his head served up on a platter. And it's so bad that the media. Why do you think all these news organizations are doing stories about that? Because they know you'll click on it and read it. And it's because of our emotional reactions to those stories.
That's why every link you see says DeBoer out. Who's the next coach? Possible DeBoer.
Yeah.
Everything link you see or every headline or thumbnail you see says that. So you're like, what? And you just go
those
cannonball into
odds. And I saw, like you said the other day, I saw Tommy Reese at the top.
What was that about?
That was obviously.
They know that he'll do it. He'll do it for like $1 million a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
See, Galesh is
his offense is. I don't know that his offense style would translate very well.
He falls in that category of me. Like if they come here and are successful, they're going to try the NFL. We caught Saban like at the perfect swing.
Mm-hmm.
Where he knew this ain't what I want, and I ain't never going back to no NFL.
Yeah, NFL had kicked him in the nuts.
And so, like, my biggest fear for DeBoer was if he came in here and went 25-3 in 2 years, that an NFL team would be kicking the door down. And that would be our biggest fear. But not anymore. That's not a worry for me anymore.
All right. Well, yeah, exactly. Movio, you just answered your own question. Galesh does run Tennessee's offense.
Oh. Yeah, Nico looked great on offense. Although Joey Aguilar looked pretty good Saturday.
So, yes, he did. And he did do it with less talent, but he also, something that people don't talk about, he also did it in the Pac-12. You know. So, yes, with less talent, but in a much lesser conference. I know that you beat Oregon and everything that year. But
nobody was beating Michigan that year for a number of reasons.
Connor Stout, Lou Holtz,
which being the but despite all that cheating stuff, Michigan was stacked that year. They were loaded. That defensive line was nasty. I mean, they tore us up.
I kind of like Cignetti. I think Cignetti's got the attitude that you would need to.
Oh God, Lou Holtz. Oh.
Yeah, well, this is the guy everybody wants. Keith is Schumer. Yeah, but we'll see. Look, today, right now, September 5th, Kalen DeBoer is your head coach. So with that, we turn the page to ULM. Alabama opens this game as a 36.5 point favorite. Spoiler alert, don't take Bama to cover. I definitely don't think. That's just a general rule of mine anyway, but 36 points. I don't care if it's at home. They're coming off a 29-0 victory over St. Francis.
Y'all stay away from betting on Bama this year. Just move along to the next one.
There's not much to preview here. I think everybody's eyes are going to be glued to different position groups throughout this game, kind of watching the effort, watching again, like the guy that was on Bama Standard talking about you're not going to learn anything from this game. I disagree, because somebody said something in the chat earlier about I haven't seen it with my own eyes. I haven't seen them pass the eye test. You can see effort. It doesn't matter who they're playing. And so that's basically what I want to see tomorrow. I want to see some guys who are ready to run through a brick wall. I want to see a sideline that is fired up despite what the scoreboard says. I want to see some guys playing football and enjoying themselves. They're going to be under the lights for the first time this season in Bryant-Denny. Dixieland Delight will be blaring.
That's almost where you miss Cochran the most, is just on the sideline, keeping the sideline awake. Because you pass the sideline, DeBoer's sidelines are dead, man. You wonder if there's anybody's awake.
You don't see anybody fired up.
No, and it's like,
nobody.
I don't know. That's not DeBoer's personality, is to over there screaming and yelling and throwing headphones and stuff. I know that's not his style, but
it's not. But Kane Womack said himself, the sideline is a living, breathing organism. Mm-hmm. And in saying that sideline can really. How many times have you seen the momentum shift in a game and that sideline gets hype, and that team marches right downfield or gets a turnover or what? Yeah, like the sideline impacts the game.
Man, Cochran was the best at that.
I can't take J-Bake serious at all. But previewing this game, there's not a lot to preview. I will say, ULM's offense isn't bad. They're not terrible. I expect them to have a little bit of success early on moving the ball. Hopefully, my hope is by halfway through the second half, Kane Womack has figured out his personnel groupings, and that's who he rolls with moving forward. I hope that's the goal of this game, is to figure that out. Offensive line, there were a ton of instances where guys, Caden Proctor, whoever you want to point a finger at, were missing assignments. So hopefully being a little more studious in their play and working on technique and actually applying that, to give Ty some time to work on getting more comfortable.
Still going to be without some starters. Trust himself. Just let it fly.
I do agree with Kalen DeBoer on that because he was holding the ball so long.
On the pass interference in the end zone, Williams had the guy beat. If Ty lets it fly so Ryan can run up under it and catch it, that's a walk-in touchdown. But he waited so long that Ryan had to come back for it. So Ty's got to let it fly earlier, man. He's got to anticipate the throw. Seems like he's waiting for the guy to get open before he decides. He needs to anticipate his receiver is going to make the cut or run the route and let it loose.
Yeah. No, and I agree with you. And I think that's a part of his game that he's going to mature into as the season progresses. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of being a first-year starter. He'll get the timing right. He'll get there. Yeah. I do have faith in that. I do. I did recognize that the wide receivers were giving him more to look at than they were giving Jalen Milroe last season. Mm-hmm. So that's a good thing. That's a positive for Alabama. So,
and it was hard to tell if they weren't open or if he was waiting too long and then bailing out. You know, if they were actually more open than we thought. And
yeah, it was a little bit of both. But even the guys that he found that were open to this point, they were dropping balls. I said in the video after that game, everybody was kind of getting irritated with Ty Simpson. But if, you know, those drops are handled properly, if CD Lamb's not playing out of nowhere at FSU, I said what I said. He throws probably for over 300 yards. You know,
I mean, that game looks entirely different if
and that completion percentage,
we have half that many drops
to the 70s too.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he didn't get much help from his wide receivers.
Outside of Jeremy, nobody did him any favors.
Yeah. Rico Scott had a couple of good ones, and Josh Cuevas, you know, but I think Cuevas even dropped a couple, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. So and there's the explosive plays that DeBoer is looking for. If those, you know, if we don't miss those when they're there.
Yeah.
They were there. I think a couple of them were there Saturday. We just missed them. So let's hope that Ty's a little more comfortable this week and he trusts that his receivers will go get the ball. So just throw it out there and let them do what they do.
Yeah.
You don't need to put it in their hip pocket. Let them use their abilities to go snatch it.
I think everybody was shocked with Bray Hubbard.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. I think that was probably the most shocking thing.
That shocked me. That left me speechless.
Yeah, it definitely was. And he could just be a guy that was drinking too much of his own Kool-Aid over the season. Maybe he needed a slice of humble pie. He seems like, based off of what we saw from him last year, he seems like the kind of guy who would respond. And so we'll see. But I'll tell you this, man. Listening to Jeremy Bernard this week discuss, you know, his mentality going into the game, he said something, and I wish that his mentality could bleed over into the rest of the team. He was like, that dude in front of you is trying to take food off your plate.
That's right.
That dude's trying to keep you from eating, and I'm going to get mine, right? And he said, you got to have an animal. You got to find the monster is what he said. You got to find the monster inside of you, because practice is the hardest thing you're going to do all week. He said, so if you can do that, you can do it in a game. Man, why has that dude not got a C on his chest? Like, somebody tell me what happened.
How he doesn't is beyond me. I don't know. But yes, they should all listen to everything he says.
I've been high on him. You know this, you too. I've been high on Jeremy Bernard all off season. I thought he was going to be a real big focal point. Looks like we're going to be right about that one. I also was really high on Justin Jefferson, but we won't talk about that.
He had a rough one. He can bounce back, but he had a rough day. All the linebackers did. But Lawson was 2 seconds late to every spot he was supposed to be.
Man, he's not 100%.
But he's not 100%. So if 70% Lawson's better than the next guy, that's a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Remind me of the Dylan Moses year. You know, he was obviously not healthy, and it ended up being a career threatening. He never played in the league, and I thought he was fantastic before he got hurt.
Yeah,
he was
very good comparison. Very good comparison.
He was awesome before he got hurt, just like Lawson.
Well, guys, I'm going to take this lull in the show to pay some bills. If you are new here, there's 204 of you watching, which means some of you are lurking. You're not even commenting in the comment section or on X. Tell us where you're watching from. How you doing today? How was your week? We want to hear from you. Please like, subscribe, leave a big old thumbs up on this video. You can also join our memberships. They are in the chat right here. I'll put it right there for you. That's not it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, just join. So Alabama, week 2. We're moving to week 2. Okay.
Do you think
All right,
we'll
guys,
try to run?
Chat, huh?
Do you think we'll try to run the ball more? Like, do you think we'll actually commit to it, or is
I don't know, man, because he
the
didn't
Seahawks
change up his
grub gonna keep
philosophy on that
bubbling up?
explosive
They just got away from it that quick.
Well, he said they weren't getting explosives, and that's
what the hell does that mean?
You know what? 4 and 5 yards.
I know,
right?
All down the field.
Right. Yes, we all understand that, but
understand.
This is where Kalen DeBoer's different. This is where him and Ryan Grubb are different.
Everything was open on that opening drive because we were running the ball. So Ty looked great throwing the few times we needed him to throw on that drive. There's no rhyme or reason why we bailed off of that.
Very interested to see if tomorrow they get the first possession, if they run the ball and have success, how quickly they get away from it. That will tell you what him and Ryan DeBoer as coaches learned. So that's something we'll put on our checklist to be watching for tomorrow night. So because they're made. Let's say they do go into Athens, right? The defense has kind of found its footing like it did last year in the Georgia game, and it's a close one. And Alabama needs to control the game. How are they going to do that? With explosive plays?
No, they got the answer.
No, they're not.
The 5 300-pounders up front.
Yeah.
I mean, is Jaden Roberts going to be back tomorrow? He was clear last week, never played a snap. Is he going to play tomorrow?
Don't know.
We need to give Chuck a big round of applause, please.
Thank you, Chuck. Nice motorcycle, by the way.
You don't have the applause button on your.
There we go. Oh, ye of little faith. Tote the rock, man. I love it. Absolutely. Run the damn ball. We'll see.
All these running backs have 10 carries. Young, Daniel Hill, 28, Kevin Riley. Who's the other one I'm missing? There's 4.
Yep.
Hey, look, I know they're going to go with Richard Young until Jam Miller comes back, but I said it last night. I'm going to say it again, man. Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley are a hell of a 1-2 punch.
Yep.
If that offensive line can open up some holes for those guys, that's a great combination of running backs to have back there. A really good combination back there, man.
They require one thing: the football.
What is it, Jeff? What do they need?
The
hold on.
Ball.
What do they need?
The football.
There it is. Oh, we're like a bunch of kindergartners. The whole group is very good. Well, guys, it is time. We were going to do hot takes, but we're running out of time. So hot takes will just be our picks, our week 2 picks. Everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, you fine with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Hot takes.
Oh, he didn't put the graphic up. Sorry, y'all. Let me stretch that back out
All
there.
Right. Well, it's okay.
Hey.
Well, we're going to do this anyway. Hot takes brought to you by Paul and Social. We will start, and University of Traditions, which, by the way, they have the Spend My Dollar cap back in stock. And we'll go ahead and say it over there from Miss Daily Joy and SEC Pretty, as Jeff is so fabulously rocking tonight. First game up on our pick'ems. I do not have these in any particular order. We'll say Bama for last, but Arizona State travels to Stark Vegas tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. kickoff to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs and Jeff Lebby. Arizona State is currently favored by 6.5 points. Chat, who do you got? So quiet.
I'm taking Arizona State.
I'm taking Arizona State as well. Thank you, Keith, for playing along.
Even though they prepped for Mississippi State by having a girl at practice with like 4 cowbells on, walking around just letting these 4 cowbells dangle. And it was like, that's not going to sound anything like it will in StarCraft.
No.
I know.
But nice try. I still think they'll pull away though.
Absolutely crazy. Chris, who'd you pick?
Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Give me the Sun Devils.
We're all going with the Fighting Sun Devils.
Devils.
Let's stay in conference. Diego Pavia, with his 19th year of eligibility, will head over to Blacksburg to take on Vitek, the Hokies. A little bit of inner Sandman action.
Yeah.
Tech is favored by 1.5.
Give me the Hoax.
Really?
Yep.
Chat.
Chris, are these on your pick sheet? Are you circling these?
Yes.
Okay.
Chat, should I do it?
I forgot to send them to you. I forgot to see I'll send them to you tonight if we don't cover them all.
Should I pick the upset? I'm going to do whatever chat says here. Oh.
Texas Tech playing on HBO Max. Yeah, I know. I don't get it either.
All right, we're 1-1. Dude, it's really hard to pick against Diego Pavia.
I actually found it pretty easy, if that makes you feel any better.
Well, you hate him. You're allowing your bias.
Actually, I'm not. That's a road game for an average
while you're
Vanderbilt team with one good player.
You can call it an upset if you want to, but it won't be. I'm taking the Hoax.
All right, for safety, I'm going to stick, and as J-Beck says, I'm going the old hokey pokies. Oh, LFB's got a prediction. That's a hot take right there. Vandy will roll into Tuscaloosa unbeaten.
I can't agree with that one.
Come on now. Come on. All right. All right. Little in-state action. You got.
Did you go with the Hoax?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. You've got Tulane, the Green Wave, headed to Chris's neck of the woods to take on South Alabama at 6:00 tomorrow. This is Central Time. Tulane currently 10.5 point favorite. I'm taking the Green Wave here. I know who J-Beck's about to take.
I'm taking the Wave myself.
Same.
I saw that, Lance.
South Alabama isn't far enough removed from Kane Womack's defense to pull this one off.
To be good yet.
They need 3 or 4 more years to get that get that out of the system.
Watch them go to a 3-4 and start being like really, really good. J-Bake, of course.
Like we should have, since we had the personnel for it. But hey, whatever.
You know, just like our guy Alec Neiman says, Bake, you should have said go Jags. Hey, that's
South in your mouth, baby.
Man.
Is it?
Is that in your mouth? Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing, man.
Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to click on that comment. Anyway. All right, moving on.
Give me the British cigarettes.
There we go. Sorry.
Give me the British cigarettes.
All right. Tomorrow afternoon, the Jayhawks of Kansas travel over to Mizzou, Mizzou. Missouri is a 6.5 point favorite, and I think I like that number. I'm going to stick with the Tigers of Missouri. I guess we should say the Tigers of Missouri.
Give me the Mizzous.
Give me the Mizzous, the fighting.
I'm taking Mizzou.
You got to say it like we did, Chris.
Well, you can definitely tell it's week 2. Some of these.
Chris did a really good job
taking Missouri.
Missouri.
I'm taking Eli Drink a lot or drink with. I like
Chris
to drink
did a good
with.
job picking these games because there's a lot of floppers on tomorrow.
Yeah.
See what the chat's saying here about this and Mizzou.
It's like Mizzou.
Lance pulling for Emmanuel Henderson.
Does he play for Kansas?
Yeah.
I think he's buried on the wide receiver depth chart there too.
No, dude. He had a good showing last week. Really?
Is he running back? Is he playing running back?
No. E-man, bro. Wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, but he was a running back coming out of high school, and then Bama buried him on the wide receiver depth chart. I didn't know if he went back.
He's playing wide out over there.
Okay. Odd move there, but I don't know.
Yeah, it looked great, man.
Never understood that move when we got him as a top running back in the state and immediately put him wide receiver. It was weird.
I didn't get to. I had no part in that decision, Jeff. All right, you get to start your day off with Virginia at North Carolina State. NC State is a 2.5-point favorite. Give me NC State.
Good enough for Vegas. Good enough for me. I don't know anything about either of these teams, so I'll take Vegas.
I'm going with State myself.
Yeah, I agree. Chat.
I see one NC State.
Yeah, chat saying NC State too. I can't blame them.
Wolfpack.
No, Bake going with Virginia.
Say what?
J Bake picked Virginia.
J Bake's picking all the upsets. I kind of like the ULM money line. Really? Dude, that profile picture's goated.
Jeez.
When I was in college, I did a photo shoot.
One more time. I don't know who you are, but I love you.
Oh my God! You saw his name. I didn't realize his name.
It finally clicked in Jeff's brain.
Oh, I didn't see his name at first.
I feel like that's somebody we know, probably.
Yeah.
Look,
Bill.
I usually wouldn't put that comment up there, but the profile picture and the username is just. Sorry.
Oh, Mike, he's a funny one.
Mike. All right, moving on. Another one. 2:30 p.m. kickoff. You got number 20 Ole Miss Rebels heading over to Old Lexington to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. The Stupaholics. Ole Miss is almost a 10-point favorite here.
Stupaholics.
Sorry. Give me Ole Miss to cover big. I think Ole Miss beats them by 14 at least.
Yeah, I take Ole Miss in this one.
No, I'm taking the Rebel Black Bears.
Ole Miss is the best team in college football that
Land
nobody's
Sharks.
talking about. Do what?
Land Sharks, whatever they are.
Ole Miss, seriously, they like I said, they are the best team in college football that nobody's discussing. Best one. What do you got, chat? Rebs, Ole Sis, Rebs. He is. Caleb Odom is there, Lance. Again, like I said earlier, thank you, Chuck. Like I said earlier, man, all these daggum transfers.
Yep.
So, all right. No, yes. This is another one.
Yeah, old Dick Trickle.
Freaking Dick Trickle, dude. Not yet.
You know, on a side note, Dick Trickle, he apparently, like in his career, not in NASCAR, but through his dirt career and short track asphalt career, he won over 3,000 races.
I'm not shocked. I don't know anything about NASCAR.
And sad thing about him, as popular as he was because of his name, he actually committed suicide.
Really?
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of the interview with the police officer that was first one on scene. And that's something a lot of people don't know is he committed suicide. He actually called 911 and told them that he'd like to report a suicide and killed himself. That's insane. And
yeah,
he was a popular guy. Like I love to get up on Saturday morning and say, I love my Dick Trickle. I mean, everybody loved
that. Thanks for ruining the conversation and possibly.
I don't care.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it is. But we need to make it known they shouldn't make fun of Dick Trickle.
No, I agree. I never got into NASCAR, but I did private security for Tony Stewart once.
Yeah,
and that guy was a huge douchebag.
Oh yeah,
huge douchebag. Huge douchebag. Anyway, hey, I Bleed Crimson. I did a video on the recruiting class today that I think when we're done here, you're going to want to go watch. Make some really good points about how this new age recruiting is different and how we all kind of need to retrain how we look at recruiting. and how wins and losses aren't that big of an indicator. They still can be, but aren't that big of an indicator in terms of classes right now. Dude, dude, I know they're trolling, but the names are great. Chris. Oh, Jeff's missing a good time. All right. Tomorrow afternoon, 3:15 p.m., the USF Bulls will go over to Gainesville and take on the Florida Gators, who are a 17.5-point favorite. Big money line here. Chat, Chris, who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Gators.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't think they'll cover.
I don't either. I think this might be a sneaky good football game.
Yeah.
I think this might be one where we look at it and go, wow. You know,
I think South Florida is going to have something for them.
Can I say I would not be surprised if the Bulls won this.
Oh.
All right. I'm going to take Florida, the safe pick, but USF's a good team.
Oh yeah.
And they're coached well. We know this firsthand. So they, you know, but I do think it's this one's Florida. I don't know who this is. I've had a terrible week. Like it's an awful week, but this is making it so much better.
Great.
The best is I know they're just trying to troll, but it's wonderful. All right, moving on. We're gonna fly through these next ones here. We've got Baylor at number 17, SMU. SMU's 2.5-point favorite. Baylor coming off a loss to Auburn. Give me the Ponies.
I'm with you. I think the Ponies win, and I think it's not much more than 2.5.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay.
By double digits.
All right. I like it. All right. Moving on. Big rivalry game already. The Iowa Hawkeyes will take on the Iowa State Cyclones, number 16. Iowa State's favored by 3.5. It's a rivalry game. Yeah, I hate to just be the safe better today, but give me Iowa State. Well, is there another one? I don't have the comments up. I can't put that one up.
No, but come on, man.
I can't put that one up.
I know it. I'm gonna take Iowa State also.
I want to put that up there so bad. I can't. Listen, doctor in the chat, we see you. I can't put your chats on screen, but
yeah.
But we see you. We see you, and we appreciate your craft, sir. So, Bowlinder State.
Yes. Go to your next troll account.
Yeah. Bring them all because this is great. While you're doing it, subscribe with all of them, please. All right, number 11. You're Fighting Illini are headed over to Duke. Illinois is a 2.5-point favorite. This one's interesting because I don't know anything about either one of these teams right now. Nope. So again, safe bet here. I'm going with Illinois.
I'm taking the Blue Devils.
Really? I like it. A little separation Saturday.
Yeah.
What if this is the game that decides who wins this whole thing?
That'd be great. Well, I mean, you do have a 2-game lead over me and Bill, and a 1-game lead over Jeff.
I've won the last 2 years too, so
yes.
But that's okay. There's a lot of football to be played. Now, what many are calling the game of the century. I'm just kidding. This is just probably the best game tomorrow. Number 15, Michigan Wolverines are down in Norman taking on the Oklahoma Sooners and John Maytier. Oklahoma's favored by 5.5. I am going to take the Sooners, and I think they cover big time. I'm not sold on Michigan's offensive line. I think Oklahoma has the tools to take advantage of that and make it a very long day for a very young quarterback. Bryce Underwood will be very, very good in the coming years, but he's gonna learn some football tomorrow. Give me the Sooners and Brent Venables.
I'll take the Sooners.
All right. Sorry. I just hit the
Roy Munson.
So good. All right. And then tomorrow, finally, Louisiana Monroe Warhawks, who have beat Alabama in Bryant-Denny Stadium under Nick Saban, will take on the now number 21 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama is, despite that ranking, is almost a 37-point favorite at home. Obviously, I'm going to take Alabama, but I am going to take it a step further and say they do not cover.
They do not cover. Bama and they do not cover.
Yeah.
Do not.
J-Bakes.
He will mod you.
He will mod you so hard. J-Bake might have to mod us one day before it's over with.
Yeah.
Bama, no cover. Sean Diddy Combs is in our chat. Don't cover. That seems like the majority of folks are. Yeah, it's a big spread. It's a big spread. I believe Crimson. What do you think? Do they cover or no? Watch them cover. I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Yeah.
Watch it be like 62-0. I'm gonna be so mad. I think this one will be more 34-17, something like that. That score sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, all right, man. That's gonna do it. Segment of hot takes.
I don't know how to fix this.
I don't either. I don't know where Jeff.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Well, all right, folks. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Get some rest so we can all sit on the couch for 14 long hours tomorrow and watch college football. We will be live tomorrow night with a reaction show. Those seem to do really well. For right now, we'll keep the show Friday. I'll probably pop in and do it live on Thursday anyway. Just do a couple during the week. Why not, right? What's it going to hurt? Please, like I said, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, you can go check out our website at Way Offsides. That's Way with 4 A's. 3's not enough, 5's too many. Tell them, Skip.
Way, this is all caps, WAAAAY, Way.
Thank you, Skip. Checks is in the mailbox. If you go over to the website, you're going to get a pop-up. You can put in your email address, and we will send new videos. Bill is back, Chris, and so Bill will be taking over blog writing responsibilities again. So blog articles will be coming out. We'll send those directly to your mailbox electronically. So good stuff. Chris, you got anything you'd like to say before we?
No.
Road Jack?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're a complicated man, Chris.
I am. You talk about me when I'm not here, so I don't have anything to say.
What did I say?
What'd you call me? I'm flight C or something? Or you called me a flight risk or something. You called me something stupid last night. I watched a little bit of it.
I don't remember what I said.
Did you accuse me of having an OnlyFans?
Oh, that's good stuff. I hope everybody had a great week. I hope you have a greater weekend, a safe weekend.
You know,
Norman.
What?
Roll Tide. The chat's freaking gone sideways tonight. As always, folks, you know the drill. Say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands. Horns down. Beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.